My respects to you.
I'd like to improve my swordsmanship.
Certainly.
I'd like to hone my skills.
First, you have to have some skills to hone.
Well, can you teach me?
Certainly.
I'd like to practice.
All right. Now.
Can you teach me?
Certainly.
I'm interested in more of...
All right. Now.
I'm ready.
Are you sure? You should wear lightweight black clothing. Anything you don't need, you can leave here. I don't want you clanking around in plate armor.
Yes, I'm ready to go.
If any of you are having second thoughts, this is your last chance to speak. Very well. So I hope we're all clear on what has to be done. We need to free the hostages to deprive Toth of his advantage. Now he'll be keeping them somewhere where they can be guarded, but somewhere separate from his other men.
And where would that be?
We always kept our captives in the house on the bailey by the stables.
What if they're in their tower or somewhere else?
Then we'll have to go to the gate and try to open it. But that will take time and attract attention. So we can only do it if we know exactly how things stand. And if they sound the alarm, before we've done anything, we get out of there quick. Understood?
And leave them there?
Better a couple of hostages than a pile of corpses. Lord Capon, are you quite certain you want to engage in this action?
Quite. After all, it can't be much different from sneaking out of the upper castle in Rattay and back in every night. Besides, who else will keep this hothead from raising bloody mayhem?
Well, see to it that you do, my lord. May God guide our footsteps.
This will be something. They'll be tense.
Hey!
Yes.
Hey!
We'll go first and take out the sentries. Wait here.
What are they waiting for?
Quiet, for fuck's sake.
What are they waiting for?
How should I know?
Why do I bother asking?
Oh, be quiet and watch that light on the battlements. Fuck this waiting, I'm gonna climb.
I'll put on his armor and watch this side, but there are still 2 guards on the portcullis winch to deal with. Any volunteers?
Henry will do it.
Buffoon?
Henry, then. Just make sure you keep quiet.
Fuck. The alarm's been sounded.
Fuck, you're heavy.
What happened?
I saved your big fat ass at the last moment.
You did? How did you?
Never mind. The important thing is we got away, but you can walk the rest of the way. Done being your donkey.
Right. Thank you.
It seems, Robard, that we're running out of options.
We don't have enough men to scale the walls with ladders. And we can't afford to lose any more. We can only take Talmberg by a ruse or with superior numbers. Ruses have failed, and we don't have superior numbers.
Then we are left with no choice but to build a trebuchet. To demolish my own walls. Where is Master Faithfar?
He's waiting. We sent for him as soon
Bring
as...
him to me. Let's not waste time.
Sir Divish.
You will build me a trebuchet, Master Tobias.
Trebuchet, my lord. That's not entirely in my field of expertise.
We have to take back Talmberg.
Yes, indeed, sir, I understand
And
that.
you are the best engineer we can rely on in the whole fiefdom.
Oh, well, thank you, my lord, but it's just that I've never built a trebuchet before. This could take some time.
Then you'd better get to it. Bernard will go over the plan of attack with you.
Oh.
Well, Master Tobias, you have much to do and little time. I will not keep you any longer.
Indeed. Of course, sir. Thank you, my lord.
How are the preparations proceeding in the other camps?
As well as can be expected under the circumstances. There are still many things that need doing, but I just don't have the time for them.
No, you don't. Henry,
Yes, sir.
I would like for you to help with the preparations in the encampments.
Gladly, sir.
Robard will brief you. That'll be all.
Sod this fucking mush.
What the hell?
Welcome, Henry.
What needs to be done?
Look, a military encampment's a complicated thing. I don't expect it to be as peaceful and orderly as Holy Mass. But what we have here now is havoc. The men are as nervous and short-tempered as caged bears. When you walk around the camps, you'll see for yourself. Grumbling everywhere, complaints about everything from the gruel to the fleas. They're moaning they've drunk the alehouse dry, and now they have to wait for the next batch of beer. We've got dead who deserve a decent burial, and a lot of wounded, including one of their lordships. The less the troops grumble, the better off we'll all be. But that's not even the main problem.
What do you mean?
Did you hear what Sir Divish was saying to Feifar, our master builder?
I heard some of it.
And what did you make of it?
He said he'd never built a trebuchet catapult. I wouldn't even know where to start, but he might.
But, if it'll take him as long as he said, we can't wait until Judgment Day. We don't have that much time.
I'll try to ask him if I can help in some way.
You should definitely do that. Without a trebuchet, we're much too weak.
How are you faring, Sir Robard?
How do you think I'm faring, lad? There's some cutthroat thug lolling about in my bed at the castle.
Well, at least no one's raised Talmberg.
Not so far. Though we may end up doing it ourselves to smoke the bastard out.
I imagine Sir Divish isn't taking it too well.
And why do you think he handed command over to me? But it pains my heart, too. That place is my home.
What's the easiest way to take back Talmberg?
The easiest way? Call in the Royal Army and leave it to them. But there's no Royal Army to help us now, and we can't afford to wait. What's more, we don't want to destroy the castle. Personally, I'd like to return to it.
Repairing the castle would be expensive.
And time-consuming. No trebuchets wholly on target. The missiles fly as they please. And if we blast the castle to pieces and Sigismund comes back, he'll make short work of us.
Is there some way we can get through the gate?
There are steps from the gate up to the walkway on the battlements, and I don't know how Istvan's covering them. Then there's the portcullis to get through. A big battering ram might breach it, but how could you get one that close? I reckon we'll have to set fire to it.
Stuck up brushwood and light it?
Brushwood, timber, anything that burns, soaked in as much pitch as possible. The local charcoal burners surely have some.
And even if it doesn't burn the gate right down, it'll weaken it and make it easier to break through.
Exactly.
Do you think Sigismund will come back?
How do I know what's in his head? But if he doesn't take advantage of this chaos, someone else probably will. The whole country will know about it soon enough.
I'd never have thought so many people were keeping an eye on Talmberg. Like that fellow Havel.
Not only Talmberg, and we've left precious few men in Ratai. If we're defeated here, who's to stop them from pillaging the whole province? And there's no shortage of power-hungry bastards like Havel and Toth in Bohemia.
And what about the walls? Which side is the most vulnerable?
The south and east are solid. It would be useless to try anything there.
It's best defended from the north, and as for the west...
From the west is where we tried it, and got royally fucked, if you recall. But I think in the end we'll try that way again, only this time we'll do it better.
Hey, Henry's come to see us.
Pity they didn't stay holed up in Vranic for longer. It would have been much easier there.
Toth is a wily fox. If he'd had all his men with him there would have been real carnage. It's likely we only won there because he'd already gone and taken most of his best soldiers with him.
I'm glad you came.
Is there anything else I can help with?
Well, we need some pitch. I know you had dealings with the charcoal burners.
I've met a few, true enough.
Then have a look around the area. If you manage to find any pitch, bring it to our quartermaster in the camp at the quarry.
God be with you, Henry.
Greetings. What business have you?
Sir Robard sent me to you. He said you have to build a trebuchet.
Indeed. A trebuchet that can smash the walls of Talmberg. I, a mining engineer. What do I know of war machines? I'll never manage it on my own.
Well, I'd like to help you, but how? I don't know anything about trebuchets either.
Actually, there is a way you could help. Konrad Kyeser came to Sasso recently. If you could get him to come here, it would save my skin.
Konrad Kyeser? Who's he?
He's a scholar who studied medicine, but he also designed siege engines. He even took part in the siege of Nicopolis, together with Sigismund.
All right, I'll do what I can.
Thank you, Henry. Maybe we will build that trebuchet after all.
Welcome, Henry.
Good day to you. What do you need?
How are we doing with the food?
Who wants to know? One of their lordships?
No, I just wondered if there was anything you're short of.
Oh, I see. The lordling is wondering if we're in urgent need of anything. Well. To tell the truth, we don't have much meat. They bring it round often enough, but never as much as they should.
Yes, I've heard something like that.
I'll say. Every other man's moaning on about it. The gamekeepers are doing all they can, but they can't keep up. So if you know how to help them out, bring it right here. I'll take care of the rest.
Fine, I'll keep that in mind. Do we have any beer?
Christ, I wish we did. Our ale's all gone, and we've drained the local inn dry.
That's bad news.
Don't I know it? You can't go and catch a beer in the woods, either. But if you happen to know about some, let's hear it. News like that'd refresh me almost as much as a drink. And the lads, too.
Greetings, good knight. How may I serve you?
How are the men holding up?
They're a rabble. The out-of-towners are desperate to go home. And the locals, they've got nowhere else to go. So they're just generally complaining.
Are they causing trouble?
No trouble as such. It's true I've caught a few of them asleep on their watch. There's nothing a couple of lashes of the whip can't cure.
Well, there might be a simpler solution.
Whipping a man's simple enough. Just give one of them a beating, the others will remember. When they forget, do it again.
But then you'd have an injured soldier. It occurred to me a herbal potion might do the trick.
I never heard of any wives' quackery helping troop morale. But Christ knows they could do with something to flush the booze out of them and keep their eyes open.
How goes it, Sir Bernard?
How goes it? We're sitting here under the castle, and all day long there's folks hewing stones. My ears are ringing as if I'd been struck on the head, which is just how I feel.
I felt that way too since the night of the attack.
That went horribly wrong. And even so, we were lucky. Could have gone much worse.
Welcome, Henry. God be with you, lad. What can I do for you?
How do you feel, Sir Divish? How's the shoulder?
I felt better, boy. I feel awful, truth be told, and my shoulder's paining me.
Let someone tend to the wound and you'll soon be better.
The flesh can be healed, perhaps. But the spirit, Henry, can you do something for me?
What is it you need, sir?
I need a priest as well as a physician. The closest was in Rovna, but I don't know what happened to him. And then there's the one from Ujits. What's his name?
Godwin. But why would you need a priest? The wound will heal, especially with the help of one of the monks.
It's not about me. I've got a lot of wounded here that won't see morning, and dead men, and I have to confess my sin.
God be with you.
I'm looking for some pitch for Talmberg.
Already? What happened to the last lot we supplied?
I don't know, and it doesn't matter. Do you have any, or don't you?
I do. I had a buyer lined up, but it's been a while since he showed his face. What do you need it for?
Talmberg's been taken by a horde of brigands, so we're laying siege to it. We could use some pitch.
Christ's blood. I hadn't heard the news. All right, it's all yours. You gave us a hand with that ginger when we needed it, and if it's for Sir Divish, I know my duty. If you want to haul it away yourself, feel free, or I can get someone to deliver it to you.
Thank you. God bless you.
Jesus Christ be praised.
Andrew, there's no more beer in Talmberg, and the soldiers are starting to grumble. Can't you send some there?
I could, but there's nothing in it for me.
The camp's not that far away. Imagine if the soldiers got so upset by the lack of beer, they went on the hunt for it and ended up here. They could do some real damage. Wouldn't it be better to have them drunk and happy somewhere else?
If they came here for a drink, I'd sell it to them. Why would they do any damage?
What if someone lied to them that you were a Toth supporter and that they'd have to make do with water?
Go ahead and try, and we'll see how it turns out.
But surely you don't want it to come to that.
Maybe I do, lad. Stop wasting my time and fuck off now, eh?
Just as a matter of interest, who do you pay your taxes to?
You're saying I should be paying the Talmberg to old Sir Divish? When Sir Havel of Waldeck was the master here, I managed to wriggle out of it. Nobody's come collecting since.
Well, right now, there are 3 noblemen camped by Talmberg, one of whom might be very interested to learn about all the tax you owe. I imagine he might want to collect it in the form of beer.
When you put it like that, I have got a few kegs I could send over. I won't lose out too much. They'd only spoil if I kept them longer, and I'd have to throw them away.
Just remember, if you poison them, they'll hang you for it.
Those soldiers would drink it up long before it has time to go off. And what's more, what with all that cabbage being eaten, it wouldn't occur to anyone the shits came courtesy of the beer. I'll have them loaded up right away and taken there. And give their lordships my regards. Tell them I'm sending my best beer as a gift. Why the devil shouldn't I get some goodwill out of this at least?
Got it for you right here. I'll be right back with that.
What do you think about Talmberg being attacked?
What do I think? That as long as decent people can live in peace, I can talk my way out of paying taxes. I don't care who my liege lord is.
Well, this new lord never forgets a man who fails to pay him a single groschen, and the poor probably go straight to the gallows for it.
That's terrible news, especially for us poor folk. I hope you'll drive him out of here so fast he'll shit himself, or hang him from the tallest Talmberg tree.
People usually shit themselves when that happens too.
All to the good. A nice bit of manure and everything blossoms.
What is it? Here, just as you ordered.
God be with you.
I need to bring a few kegs of beer back to Talmberg.
To Talmberg? Why? Actually, it doesn't matter.
The troops are falling asleep on guard duty. Do you have anything to help?
There's a recipe I know. I could brew up enough for 2 or 3 men with what I have here.
No, I need enough for a whole bloody encampment. Actually, for 3 camps.
That much? It would take me a week just to pick the herbs for it. Unless you were to do a bit of the legwork yourself.
Seems only reasonable, since I'm the one who wants it. What do you need?
1 handful of valerian and 2 of mint, but make sure it's fresh. And a little wormwood wouldn't hurt. Welcome, Henry.
There's no end to this cleaning.
My respects to you, sir. I need to bring a few kegs of beer back to Talmberg.
I'm sorry about that, but I don't have any to spare.
God bless.
I know you. I remember that ugly mug. Bring it on. What a piece of luck. Now I can knock your
Is that the
teeth in.
best you can do?
No.
Do you happen to know the whereabouts of Konrad Kyeser?
And what do you want from the old buzzard? Never mind. What do I care? It's the big house in the courtyard by the monastery.
I've come to ask for help.
Again? Such trying times we live in. God is testing us all. So what is it you need?
Their lordships have laid siege to Talmberg, and the brigands have wounded Sir Divish and many other people. I'm to ask if the monastery might send someone to help.
Sadly, I can't assist you. I have many needy folk right here requiring my constant care. I can't just leave them.
And what if I helped you out here? You'd have more free time, and there's a wounded nobleman at Talmberg who needs a proper physician.
Yes, then I'd be willing to go, but not until everything has been put to rights here first.
Very well. Where should I start?
Talk to Johanka. She knows what's needed.
Have you? That's nasty.
Oh, come on. Good health to you, sir.
Is this where Konrad Kyeser lives?
Indeed. The world-renowned Konrad Kyeser.
I need to speak to him.
Oh, really? Whatever for?
Tobias Fayfar has sent me. He is asking Master Konrad for help with the siege of Talmberg.
Must be important then. Go in. Well, I don't know how you can help from here. Here's the key.
I could do with a bite to eat.
Enter. Huh? By the horn of Joshua, you startle me. I thought you were urban. What do you want?
Sir Tobias Fayfar, the master builder and engineer from Skalitz, sends his greetings.
Fayfar? Tobias Fayfar? I've heard of him. He invented an interesting mining machine. What does he need?
Sir, have you heard what's been going on in Talmberg?
I've heard a thing or two. Is it true the castle's been taken?
It has, and we want to take it back. Master Fayfar has been given the task of building a trebuchet, but he's not sure he can manage it.
I doubt it myself. Building siege engines is an entirely different kettle of fish than mining. Damn, I'd like to rain some boulders on those heathens of Sigismund's. But that can't be done with a quill and parchment, and I can't leave here right now.
Why can't you leave?
That's a long story. I was a little, more than a little, critical of Sigismund's efforts at Nicopolis. And it might surprise you to know, after that defeat, he didn't particularly appreciate my criticism. Then, when Sigismund abducted the king, I didn't feel too secure in Prague, so I left. Perhaps left is the wrong word. Some might say I was banished. In any case, I went to Bettelern Castle.
And why are you here in Sassa?
To be honest, I need the money.
Money, sir? You don't seem like a man who lives in want.
Dear me, no. I don't need it to support myself. It's to fund my opus. That's why I agreed to help with the construction of the monastery. So you see, I can't simply take my leave.
Could I help you escape, perhaps?
Who says I want to?
But you said you couldn't leave, sir.
Young man, I can't leave because I gave my word I'd help with the building of the monastery here. And my word is my bond. I have no intention of sneaking away like some criminal.
Couldn't Carol be persuaded somehow? After all, the defence of the province is at stake.
I realise that, but Sassa Monastery has always kept its neutrality. What's more, the abbot isn't here at present, and without his permission, Carol won't be persuaded. But I might have another idea.
What do you suggest?
Carol received his commission in writing. If you found it, we could copy the abbot's seal and signature on our own document.
That's a curiously interesting idea.
My inventiveness has many applications. I could be back here before the abbot, so he won't even know I was gone.
How do I get my hands on the commission?
It will be somewhere in his quarters. You'll need to get it quickly and put it back before he notices it's gone. I suggest waiting until evening. That's when Carol usually goes to the tavern to play dice. He's fond of his dice. Maybe you can take advantage of that somehow.
Right. I'll see what I can do. You really can't come with me right away?
Damn. I'd like to rain some boulders on those heathens and...
Jesus, look where you're going.